Hello, nice people. How many of you speak English? So those of you who can speak English, they can stay awake. The rest people can sleep. So rearrange for better activity. Albert Einstein said the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. But why change? Why do we change clothes? Bad smell. So the human activities are causing a lot of pollution in the world, so that's why we need to rearrange for a better activity. Our planet Earth, staying in refrigerator, is still experiencing global warming. CO2 level is increasing, sea level is also increasing, and this is increasing the tension level of people because the fish have the chance of eating the shellfish. So but still, there are some people who deny global warming. They say they cannot be global warming. Science, because we need proofs. Seeing is believing. Science needs proof. What's the proof of global warming? And then they show. So are clothes getting shorter with time? Is this the proof of global warming? Not really. So because the global warming denier says that if there is really global warming, then there will be endless summer parties. But that's not the case. So, but my dear friends, climate change is real and we are polluting the earth with our activities. So we need to control it and rearrange for a better activity. So the polluting of the earth started with the Greek. So the Greek discovered science and they discovered 4 elements in the planet Earth: fire, water, earth, and air. So, but they were curious, this air they cannot see, and they were curious that there is something more in the air. It's not just air, there are some more constituent in the air. And then they discovered that love is in the air, in addition to nitrogen, argon, and other gases. But my dear friends, not just love, but there are also diseases in the airs. Before, in the past, there was air miasmatic theory, which says that, aerosol of a region is contaminated, which is spreading diseases. But then come the Robert Koch Institute. You've heard of Robert Koch. Well, I thought he was a cook, but actually he was a German scientist, and he was a scientist who discovered the germ theory, and he said, that germs are the disease-causing agents. So please stay clean, and keep all the frogs and dirt out of your approach. And then this frog went into the lab of Dr. Luigi Galvani, an anatomy professor, and he died. He was so sad to see the frog dead. So he discovered something, and he wanted to bring back the frog into life. So he just took 2 rods of different metals, and he touched the frog. And mamma mia, he discovered electricity with a dead frog. So the word electricity was discovered with a dead frog. And he thought that electricity is like a property of living thing. But then come this guy called Alessandro Volta. He said he can also produce electricity with acids and salts. So it can be also with non-living things. And they were fighting. But anyhow, what can they do with electricity at that time? There were no video games. There were no social media and Instagram, so they cannot do anything with electricity. But they can just get electric shock and nice hairstyle. And please the kings of that time, And then come, some sensible guys, Anthony and Nicholas, some scientists, they discovered hydrogen with electrolysis of water with electricity. And today we can power up cities with this hydrogen gas, and we can also have automotive industries, fuel cell-based cars, and many other application, fertilizers and other things. So now, how does this work? So you have hydrogen, you get it into the fuel cell, and then you have oxygen, and then you get just simply electricity. And then come bills, and bill kills. So this is like, this is like different layers of this fuel cell. So you can also recycle hydrogen, and you have different layers, the gas diffusion layer, yellow, and then the red layer, catalyst layer. So here in this catalyst layer, the activity of hydrogen plays an important role. And it needs to be improved to have the best efficiency of this device. So now what is this activity? This activity. So, chemists have different ways of representing concentration. So they have dramas. So they represent concentration mass by mass, mass by volume, molarity, molality, different ways. So activity is also concentration. But it's the effective concentration, effective concentration. How is it different from other? So when I came to Germany and I got 7,000 salary, I was so happy, but it was brutto. So it was not netto. So netto is like effective concentration, which is like 4,000, and brutto is, much higher than that. So activity is effective concentration. So you can also think of how many doctors are there in Germany. So there are a lot of them. So, but not everybody is effective. For example, Angela Merkel, she's also a doctor of physics. So she became passive and aggressive. When she saw the situation of Germany, and she just left this science, and she was in politics to improve German situation. So effective concentration is different from the overall concentration. So activity is. So what do you think is the highest number of people in Germany? What's the activity? The media says.
In Deutschland gibt es viele Menschen mit psychischen Krankheiten.
So they are not just in Germany, they are all over the world. But in Germany, they are treated well. So activity, but activity, one more thing about activity is that it's effective concentration with equilibrium. Because in chemistry, reaction happens and then it goes forward or backward direction with time. So you can think of like, as single or as married. So reactions happen and then change. And if the chemical reaction proceed further, it can go to this way also. So the activity was originally discovered from the YouTube, not from the social media YouTube, but from chemistry YouTube. So it was discovered from Raoult's law. So he said that, liquids have vapors, and vapors evaporate and they have a pressure. So when you combine two vapors, A and B, so he said that their overall vapor pressure activity will be like the sum of these two. But then come Lewis, and he said that's not the case because it's in equilibrium. Sometimes there are reactions and molecules species combined to form molecules. So it can be overall lower or it can be higher. So, and then come this, another scientist came, his name was Arrhenius. So he said that there can be water autonization reaction, which can go in the backward direction and also in the forward direction. And as there is equilibrium, which is equilibrium dependent. So you can think of activity, for example, if there is the free ion concentration or if less, then it's lower activity. And if it is more, then it's more activity. So the activity can be even more than the pH scale, what it defines. So it can be like defined by Hammett acidity function. It is so strong, so you can see how powerful it is. So it can dissolve even the metals. So nowadays we are dependent so much on AI. Here, Dr. AI. So we say everything to AI, and we will say like now pollution is also increasing in the world. So we say, hey, Dr. AI, what's the solution to control the pollution? And then, hey, Dr. AI will give 1,000 pages answer, but nobody wants to read it. And then we'll ask, hey, Dr. AI to summarize it, and then he will say, rearrange for better activity in order to save our planet Earth. Thank you.